Folks, it is me, of course, suited up as always. It is Soul, host of the Soul Sessions, and welcome here. Now, I figured, as season 3 is coming to an end, let's revisit someone who was here at the beginning because he was, the zekiest wrestler in the UK, but now he's a founding father of the Eastern Bloc. Jan is back as well with a member of the Eastern Bloc, Topalovic. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Topalovic? No, Topalovic.
Hey,
Topalovic. If you're going to get it right, get it right.
The Scottish vocal cords can't comprehend that tone. I'm so sorry, but lads,
just wait. And when Topalovic getting here in Scotland, oh my God, we're going to fine you for that. And we're going to power drive you all over Edinburgh.
Oh God, let's just hope my suit maintains this. I ain't got, many copies of this suit left. So if one goes, I'll be doing it in shorts and a t-shirt. I need to look somewhat professional. But lads, before we begin, I thought, we should do a little bit of a celebration because obviously, Jan, you remember how our episode ended last time. So I figured, let's do a shot, shall we?
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's go. You know what? I will be right back because I just had Robert Starr right here. Shout out to Robert Starr. And he left me alcohol over here. 80% of a Polish alcohol, and I'm going to go get it.
You're a dangerous man, yeah. I respect it, but very dangerous.
We are Slavs. That's what we do.
Well, respect. While Jan's fetching the old desires, Topalovic, my friend, I'd love to know, as I say, every guest has a story and every guest, story has a beginning. How did your story begin as a wrestling fan, my friend?
As a wrestling fan, funny enough, I watched wrestling growing up a little bit. Like very much not a lot. Knew what it was, and when I became older, I met a friend who was into wrestling, and I was like, "Want to show me the ropes?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure thing." And and that was what, 8 years ago.
Wow. Oof. I mean, time's flies, and we can tell that it's done some wonders for you with that wee old little mark there, my buddy. So,
It's just a little beauty mark. It's like,
it's fashionable. I'm sure the ladies will love it all around. But lads, obviously, I know the Slavs love a bit of the drink and the vodka. So I figured, Jan Topalovic, want to do a little selection for me. We have here Smirnoff's Raspberry Crush, pish, I would say myself. We have some good old Absolute Vanilla Vodka. Or this AU Blue Raspberry Vodka. You can tell it's expensive because it's in a gold bottle. So I need to know, lads, which poison shall we kick off with?
I will tell you right away, go for Absolute because flavored vodka, come on, are you a woman?
Hey, look, I have to blame I mean, they like to bring some stuff and leave it, so I just take whatever I can get. But
no, to be fair,
and I'll go and bring mine.
See, the Smirnoff one, it's actually not that bad, to be fair.
Really?
But don't tell anyone I said that.
Hey, folks, you didn't hear that? You'll never hear that. You'll never hear from stuff. That's a very good fucking side. Nice. Well, lads, I guess we shall toast not only to your appearance here on the Soul Sessions, but I think a good toast to the Eastern Bloc as well will be very fashionable, shall we say.
Hey, we can toast to the victory against Glasgow Grindhouse last night. We totally kicked their asses.
Indeed. Obviously, Krieger's been on the show, so I won't say too much bad things. But, hey, victory's a victory. So, lads, to the Eastern Bloc.
To the Eastern Bloc.
To the Eastern Bloc.
Oh
my God, This is strong. Yeah. Thanks, Robert.
Ooh, yeah. The old heart's going a bit ticker right there. God damn.
Yeah.
Ooh, right. Well, back to work, lads. Obviously, when you were last here, in last June, fair enough. A lot's happened within. I know time flies, my friend. Jesus. Things have happened within the wrestling industry. Things have happened not only with Scotland, but I know yourself as well. So I want to tell us, since your last appearance, how have things gone for you?
Well, I think it was like shortly after our interview, I met Topalovic. See, even I start saying Topalovic. Thank you very much. No, but I met Emil right there, and he joined the Eastern Bloc, which is an amazing addition to the Eastern Bloc. Topalovic is an amazing person. Love the guy. He's funny and he's Bosnian. So we got some Balkan blood in the Eastern Bloc representing, the South Slavs. And me, what was that? Me, Topalovic, and Hanyadi, another member of Eastern Bloc, Hanyadi Tamas. We destroyed, we conquered Sweden, and our conquering continues. See, in March, we are coming back to Sweden. Me and Topalovic actually have a match. So, continue spreading the propaganda of Eastern Bloc all over Europe. And I would say we're doing actually good work because, like I mentioned before we start recording, see, my goal is spread Eastern Bloc as far as we can, right? And not just so it's not just a faction in Scotland, so it's like a worldwide faction. Like the idea is the idea is ripping off Bullet Club, but in a way, because see what made Bullet Club famous, right? They were famous because they were foreigners in Japan. Look at us right now. Me, Topalovic, Crowbar, Hanyadi. We are the foreigners, right? We are the foreigners in Europe. We are the foreigners in UK. We are the foreigners in Sweden, and we are taking over. Because let's face it, whole Europe belongs to the Slavs, not Germans, not French people, not English, definitely not English people. No, it belongs to the Slavs. We are the ones who work for you. We are the ones who work as your doctors, as your laborers, right? We are the one who saved Europe many times in World War II, in World War I, in any wars. And now we are just taking back. Me, Topalovic, Crowbar, Hanyadi, we are taking back what belongs to us as European wrestling. European wrestling belongs to the Eastern Bloc. And when we say it, we mean it. So we are continuing our conquer, and we are taking what's ours.
Hey, well, we always love to take and celebrate as well. And I think that's something that we need, especially here in our Scottish scene. We always need a bit of a dominant faction here. But obviously, Topalovic, yourself, when you heard about Eastern Bloc forming from Jan, what was it that appealed to you? Was it just, this amazing group of individuals to conquer, or was there a goal for yourself?
I'm more of a group what's called group orientated person. So I love being a part of something that excels and like uplifts like a group of people to a bigger goal, to paint up the bigger picture, and just like to dominate and conquer.
Hey, dominate, conquer, and maybe even get a bit of the Mark's cash in your pockets, because I'm sure those jackets that I can see are absolutely stellar. Get them sold. Get them sold. Come on, lads.
To be fair, it's not about money. It's about spreading a message.
Oh, okay.
And that message is, like I said before, this show is ours. We are tired, and we have enough of being ignored by the people. It makes me sick that there's a guy in Hungary or in Sweden or Denmark or any other European country where people call him he's the best wrestler in the world because he can do a flip. We are here doing the business. We are here kicking ass. We should be the best. Why is no one saying the Eastern Bloc is the best? Because we prove it over and over and over again. I wish you could be in Sweden when we were there. I wish you could see it in your eyes, because we took the whole show and it was ours. Everywhere. Same as yesterday in Kirkintilok. Me and Crowbar, when we walked into the venue, it's ours. We are not sharing the spotlight with anyone else.
I mean, Jan, I would have loved to have been there, but the thing is, the main problem is, I would have been shit-faced under the table, because I do love a bit of the vodka, so I would have probably missed the whole thing out of respect and for my liver's consequences. Sorry, buddy, you're always going to be taking the hard brunt of the lifestyle. Yeah. But obviously, as well, obviously, viewers, you see two members, obviously the founding father himself and another, but there's other members themselves as well. So, Jan, can you tell the viewers who maybe are not familiar with Eastern Bloc and its other members, who they are?
Well, we get another member called Hanyadi Tamás. He is a soldier of fortune. He is from Hungary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know there might be some smartass typing on the keyboard right now. But Hungarians, they are not Slavs. Yes, they are not Slavs, but they are still Eastern Europeans. They were still in history. They were still part of the Eastern Bloc, or also known as Communist Bloc. And what amazing talent he is! If I had to describe him, he is Roman Reigns of the group. He's big. He is muscular. He is strong. He is dangerous. You don't want to cross the guy, right? And then the leader, another founding father, the person who started it all, Crowbar. Crowbar, you might know, Crowbar is a legend here in Scotland. The things he managed to do in Scotland, I can only dream of. And you can't imagine how big of a privilege it is to walk out with him, to be mentored by him, because that's what he is to me and to Emil and to Hanyadi. He's our mentor. I'm telling you, every time I have something new promo, new idea, always run by him. And I'm telling you, always, he is one of the smartest people I've ever met in wrestling. And also the fact that he already is established and he already is part of the big tag team in Scotland, the Purge. I'm not Stevie James, right? I will never be Stevie James. Stevie James, awesome guy, by the way. One of the most underrated wrestlers in Scotland. Current ICW 0G champion, is he?
I think he might be. I won't lie. That absolute vodka's already hitting the brain. So,
but I'm not Stevie James, so I can't replace him. So there's always the big chip on my shoulders when I walk up with Crowbar. To be next to someone like him, it's a massive privilege, and I'm just, I'm happy. Eastern Bloc couldn't choose a better leader, a better mentor for us, a better teacher.
Hey, you love to have a good teacher. If you have a strong teacher and a strong leader, everyone else falls in line and conquers all.
Exactly.
Topalovic, yourself, do you agree with Jan's report there on Crowbar being an amazing teacher and leader?
To 100%. Like, Crowbar is amazing. Like, because of the distance, we haven't met each other too many times. But the few times that we have met, like, I have learned so much and tried to soak up as much knowledge as possible from him, because what he says has weight to it. And just like the know-how of the industry and how to do things.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hey, lessons are great to have, because when you get those new skills, new knowledge, and new desires come from them, and you can face that passion and rise to the top as well. Now, obviously, I know as well, Topalovic, as well, that you were, I'm correct, a former referee, if I'm correct.
Exactly.
So,
like I said, my journey started like 8 years ago, and for what, like the last the last 2 years, I started wrestling because I was sick and tired of excuse my language, but some shit that people did.
Fair point.
And then like the bullying that followed, and I had enough. So I pretty much like, no, I'm not standing for this. And because me as a ref, I had some power, but me as a wrestler can always fight back.
I mean, hey, fair play as well. But I would love to know as well, being a referee, and there's some idiotic fans online that will say they know best, they know all this, they know all this. But as a referee, what's some key points that you feel like fans don't appreciate as a role as a referee?
I think it's just like doing the job. Like everybody's is a smartass. Like I can do it better or whatever. No, it's like if I see things, then I can do the call for it. And it's also like in ways, it's just like, is this the right call?
Mm-hmm.
How will, because even if like even as a referee, we know what types of people some wrestlers are. Will this like if I do this call, will it affect me in a personal way or not?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but everybody thinks like they know better, even though they like in some cases referees don't see everything. We try to be all seeing, but nobody is.
If I
Fair
can
play.
just mention quickly, see how Topalovic mentioned the fact that he stood up for himself. That's the thing that impressed me and Crowbar the most. Is the thing that for the people who don't know, Emil Topalovic is a is in Denmark you were referring, or is it Sweden?
Both.
Both. So
But
I think this storyline was in Denmark, wasn't it? When you were bullied by wrestlers and you stood up for yourself, and now you
no, that was in Sweden.
became the bully. That was in Sweden. Okay,
That
sorry.
was in Sweden.
Sorry, my bad. In that case, we've seen it. Me and Kroba, we've seen it, and we were impressed by it. There's a reason why Topalovic joined the Eastern Bloc, because we saw this Balkan Slav stood up for himself, kicking everyone's ass. And me and Kroba were like, that's the guy. That's the guy. So we invited him to Scotland. We had a show in Lochminnock, and Topalovic beat was looking sharp. He beat Adam Fulton. He beat our leader Crowbar. He beat, who else was in the match?
No, it was us four.
That was you four. He beat us all. He joined us.
Wow, I mean, it's like an initiation by combat. I kind of get Blackpool Combat Club vibes from that. Joining through blood. I mean, hey, just shows viewers, Eastern Bloc. If you want to get in, you're gonna have to pay your dues to get in. And I think, you know what, Ashker, that deserves another wee shot for celebration. You can tell I'm Scottish because I'm just like, any opportunity to have a wee drink, yeah, I'll fucking take it. Well, there's a christening going on. Hell yeah, I'll break that. But before I burn my esophagus right now, Jan, as well, things have been going on here within the Scotch scene itself. Community Pro Wrestling had their title, and which is now held by Ravy Davey. Attitude, also held by Ravy Davey. Some women's championships as well. Ellie Armstrong winning the CPW Women's Championship. Nicole Jasmine winning the Attitude Scottish Pro Women's Championship. For as yourself, where we were last year when you last appeared on, and seeing the Scottish scene grow and having new talent take up championships, what does that mean to you to see the scene grow? Now I'll burn myself.
It's funny because you mentioned those people. I knew them for years, and I'm just happy to see them where they grew up. I'm happy for my cousin Stan, who definitely is not a sheep in the crowd. He's like a how to say it, English. Damn it.
Clothing?
No, like he's visible in the crowd. How you call it?
Charismatic.
He's unique. He is unique. Like these amazing things are happening all over Scottish wrestling, and you still know that Stan is not lost in the crowd. Like you got Ravy Davey winning the Dad Championship. You got Ravy Davey winning APW Championship. Also, hey, you have Stan over there having calling out Rand Richards on a Scottish radio, which was a massive success. You got Stan doing the promo right now, very totally ripped off How I Met Your Mother. Which, by the way, to the fans of Stan, right? I'm telling you, wait for part 2 and part 3. They are coming very soon, and you're gonna be mind blown. There's another goal I'm trying to do I literally, before we started a podcast, I've released a new video, like an Eastern Bloc video, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make more videos, like vignettes. Like no one's doing vignettes. That's like what's the problem with Scottish wrestling. No one's doing vignettes. Absolutely no one. And that's vignettes are helping you to grow, to tell good stories. The whole week, only thing I'm doing is training, of course, but also recording so many vignettes, and I'm releasing them on my Instagram, and it's blowing up. Like, if you look at the views I'm having on those videos, I'm very happy about that. Me and Stan, because we share on Instagram, because he's too poor, he can't afford, and he doesn't understand it, so he's got Facebook. Well, so, well, is he taking care of it? No, he doesn't. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but also what helps Scottish scene are people like Topalovic, people like Hanyadi, who are coming over here from Sweden, from Denmark. Like I said, the match where Topalovic was, he beat 4 of the best Scottish wrestlers, and what a banger that was. Same as Hanyadi, who was here. He was on the Valor show and he beat Big Mick, and showed amazing performance. And just last night we had Robert Starr, the one of the biggest Polish wrestlers in the world. He beat Andy Wild for the UEWA Championship. And for me, being a fellow Slav, I'm super proud of him. I'm proud that there's a Slavic wrestler who puts the Slavic people like us on the map. And he is a big champion. He's a European champion. The European champion, and he's here in Scotland putting a good bangers. That's what I'm saying. That's how Scottish scene is now. You bring these international talents here and help us grow.
Wow, I mean, yeah, that is mental as well. Because obviously Andy Wild, Andy Roberts has held that championship for over like a few thousand days as well, and now being dethroned, and now to have someone from Eastern European now to hold that championship and represent not only that championship, but kind of your people as well. That's going to be a sense of pride as well, right?
Yeah, but also like I just want to quickly mention Andy Wild. What a champion! He held the champion, like you mentioned. He held it for so long, and he did a great job defending it in 3 countries. It was like 10 promotions. Absolutely incredible work. And what an incredible talent. And I can't wait to work with him, because there's a plan now for Valor is an Eastern Bloc against Andy Wild and Robert Starr. And I can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing show. It was confirmed yesterday on the 12th of May in the Opry in Glasgow. It's going to be the Eastern Bloc against Andy Wild and Robert Starr. I can't wait for that. It's going to be an amazing match. I would highly recommend you to come and do interviews with us over there. It will be worth it.
Yeah, I would be blessed to come over, but this suit does take 14 days to properly clean, get the color back in. And, it's an expensive suit. I got to maintain it to the best of my abilities. But obviously, it's a good suit. Come on now,
it's a nice suit. I'm not saying anything. I mean, my burgundy suit is way better, but
I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, but it does lack the, I don't know, red whitish coloring.
Yeah, exactly.
So what? I should have like the cape inside of like the red and white colors inside. Just have that on.
Yeah.
I mean,
now you're talking. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I did fail arts and craft in high school, so I guess I'd always give it a shot. But that's a story for another day. Who knows what will happen with my attire? But obviously, Topalovic as well, coming over to Scotland to wrestle. I've always been fascinated about wrestling cultures. I feel like wrestling cultures are different wherever you go, to Scotland, England, Wales, UK, North America, even Germany and elsewhere. Coming over to wrestle for Scotland, was there anything that kind of shocked you, maybe with culture or how wrestling was perceived here?
I've heard things, yes, but nothing that really shocked me. I know that there's a lot of family-friendly shows, and around the Scandinavian countries, it's like it's always usually promoted as a wrestling show. Most of the times, kids are welcome. But it's very much not always like straight up kid-friendly show, because there usually is like something for everybody. Like the next Valor show in Malmö, it's like the first death match in 10 years or so
Damn.
is gonna be happening on the what is it, 9th of March.
On my birthday.
Hey.
And like, are they gonna be kids in the audience? Most definitely. While like, and usually people, not saying they can say whatever they want, but most things are not very frowned upon. While on like the Scottish scene, somebody some people need to watch their tongue a little bit more,
Yeah.
which is an interesting dynamic in like how do I like portray myself without just being foul mouthed.
See, it's the same way in when I was wrestling in Spain or when I was wrestling in my home country. Is just like Topalovic said, it's the same thing. It's like children are welcome, but it's not very family friendly. And I know that here in Scotland, it's like there are strict rules. Like you can't swear, you can't be, you know what I mean? Like there are strict rules because it's a family friendly show. That's a big difference between the shows all over Europe and Scotland. But I think it's because WWE has a massive influence in Scottish wrestling, because like probably or definitely know lots of like WWE wrestlers, like they 60% of WWE roster are Scottish, or you know what I mean, are British, and the people who just wrestle here in Scotland like regularly. So like see, like the WWE culture come to our scene a lot, and like that's why like in Iron Gilders and Disco Academy, like these schools, they teach WWE style wrestling. And in Europe, it's not like that much because the WWE doesn't have much influence over there. You know what I'm trying to say, like the difference in between like the scenes, just like Topalovic said.
No, I absolutely get it. I understand. It's sort of like the WWE sports entertainment for all kind of individuals style. Then you get some other styles like this, which is like a TNA, GCW, or an AEW, which is more wrestling based focus and having fun with it. I mean, hey, I think we need an Eastern Bloc training school here in the UK just to get the right kind of teaching on. I mean, you guys can have academic hats on, nice robes, red robes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. We need some teaching.
That's my plan. You know, I mean, like that's my dream to one day open a school in my home country and teach young Slavs like me, to be a wrestler. I would love to bring Eastern Bloc to WWE. You know, like, can you imagine that? Like, me and Topalovic will be the first ever. I mean, I would be the first Czech wrestler in WWE. Topalovic would be the first Bosnian wrestler in WWE. That would be awesome. Hanjani would be the first Hungarian wrestler in WWE. And Kroba, I think that they already had a Polish wrestler there. I'm not sure now. But you know what? Let's talk about a little bit on Eastern Bloc, because we always hiring, right? If you're a very good wrestler and you're Slav or like Eastern Europe, we are hiring, right? If you're that good, come join us. Prove us that you belong in an Eastern Bloc. But let's mention some names.
Oh, okay.
Some big names we would love to be, like we would love to have in Eastern Bloc. This is just dreaming, right? We are talking about dreaming. But who is one of the biggest Slavic wrestlers right now in the world, or was? Miro, or also known as Rusev. Can you imagine Rusev being in an Eastern Bloc? He would fit so well. Another name that's like is the current NXT champion, Elijah Dragunov. I mean, which is funny because he grew up 3 hours from my hometown, which is not that far away. So he grew up in Germany, in Dresden. I live at the borders of Germany, so it's not that far from my hometown. But these Slavic wrestlers that to join the Eastern Bloc, that would be a dream.
Oh, fuck. I can just imagine it now. All you guys standing over the bodies of United Empire, Bullet Club Gold, Judgment Day, heck, even the Bloodline. You're all.
Oh, that would have a chance. I mean, come on. Can you imagine Topalovic against Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns doesn't stand a chance. My God.
Exactly. You could, fuck Roman Reigns' ongoing title reign. You're gonna end it, Topalovic, and then I'll be like, hey, I interviewed that guy. I saw him as a youngin'. I knew what he was capable of. And they're like, you're fucking drunk. Shut up. I was like, yeah, no, that would be amazing to see as well. But obviously as well, I need to know as well, Jan, you know, since we last talked, you know, many things happened within the wrestling world. Some great things, you know, CM Punk back to WWE, AEW All In, bringing over many things. Some sad things as well. You know, sadly, when we last talked, things that happened is sadly the passing of Bray Wyatt. Just a true shame that has left the wrestling world. So I want to know, Jan, from yourself, Bray Wyatt, what's some of your favorite memories of him as his career?
Oh, The Fiend. How cool was The Fiend? I mean, are you kidding? That theme song, his debut at SummerSlam. Oh my God. But no, to be fair, 2013 when he debuted as a Wyatt family, I loved Bray Wyatt. I loved him, man. He was incredible and massive inspiration to my career. Like the whole, I mean, let's face it, The Fiend, Stan and Jan, like you can see that from who I was ripping the idea from. But definitely, but you know, the changes are coming. And what I mean by that is the Eastern Bloc is now here. Okay, I'm gonna swear now. So warning. I don't give a fuck what's happening around the world. We are taking over now, right? I want all the headlines from now on to be about Eastern Bloc. I don't give a damn about Roman Reigns. I don't give a damn about Seth Rollins. I don't give a damn what's happening in AEW, just like 90% of other people. We don't give a damn. What we want is we want to take the European wrestling. This is ours. What's happening in America stays in America. They have lots of problems over there. Just keep them. This is our region. This is our area. And me and Topalovic, we are taking over. Me, Crowbar, Topalovic, the Eastern Bloc. And we are growing. Each day there are more people joining. It's a movement now. We are not a faction. We are not some indie wrestling faction, just a couple of friends hanging out and kicking ass. No. We are a movement. We are taking over. This is a revolution. This is a red revolution. This is not a catchphrase. This is what's happening. It's a revolution. We are standing up. So, that's what's happening in the wrestling world. Keep WWE, keep themselves. This is European wrestling. Keep your problems over there. We are taking over. This is our time.
Folks, I mean, yeah, I need to ask you a very important question. That statement there, do you think that deserves another shot? Another shot of the vodka?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm going to have a shot as well.
Fuck me. I'm definitely not making it till bed tonight. I love the smell of drink in the morning. Anyways, whatever. The Eastern Bloc.
Eastern Bloc.
The Eastern Bloc.
Oh, good God. If I pass out during this interview, enjoy the 20 minutes of silence.
Oh, yes.
Then it's only gonna be me and Jan just talking about how we're gonna take over Europe.
Slavic business.
Slavic business, the best kind of business. But I do want to know as well, lads, you know, taking over, it's a big statement to say. And we've got a lot of companies, not only in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and London. So first, talking to you, Topalovic, which companies would you love Eastern Bloc to go in, make a statement, and take some names?
Every company. Just go in, wreck house, dominate, and take over.
Respectable. Definitely a very intimidating mission statement there. Jan, do you agree? Is everyone on the fucking list?
Oh, definitely. Like I mentioned before, we are not a faction. This is not a faction. We are a revolution. We are a movement. We are, like I mentioned, we are not a couple of friends hanging out. You know, like the typical indie wrestling groups are just getting together. Like, hey, we are friends. And, oh, too sweet. No, we are kicking ass. And drink some vodka as well. So every company, every name on the list, every company, every wrestler, if you're listening to this, you are fucked because we are coming for you. And this is not even about titles. We don't give a damn about titles. Yes, if you're gonna have them, we're gonna have them. But this is about making a statement. We've been disrespected for so long. We've been overlooked for so long. And now we are here. We're gonna kick ass and we're gonna taking over about absolutely everything. Jesus, look at me. I'm cutting promos like a madman.
It shows you have it, my friend, indeed. Now, you're here to make a statement and teach the wrong-minded individuals on the ways of Eastern. So I want to know, obviously, your cousin Stan, does some stuff within CPW. Great names there, and an Attitude Pro as well. If you could sit down with some individuals from those companies and think, hey, learn this way and join us in our mindset, who would you love to have turn coat and join the Eastern Bloc?
I heard that Stone Malone is like 2% Bulgarian. So like, and I respect him because he kicked Stan's ass. So I really like him. Who else is like a Slavic wrestler in Scotland? I can't think of much. I know Crowbar is like a big Slavic name over here. Also, there's like Jarek Novak from is it Discovery Wrestling? He wrestles in Discovery Wrestling.
Yes.
I think he's there. He is Polish. Hey, if you are passionate as we are, show us and join. If you impress us.
And also like we said before, his name was said before, another Slavic wrestler that just got a title, Robert Starr.
Oh,
sure, he's not based in Scotland, but still, that's a pretty good name.
I mean, he kind of fucked it up for himself because we so for people who don't know, right? Last night, me and Crowbar tried to recruit Robert Starr to join the Eastern Bloc after he won the championship, right? He refused us. So what happened? Me and Crowbar kicked his ass. And Andy Wilde came to rescue him, right? That's what's setting up for the match in Govan because they put up a challenge, a tag team match, right? Hey, I'm not giving up on Robert Starr. He made a mistake. We all do make mistakes. I hope he will wise up one day and join us because he will be an absolute amazing addition to the Eastern Bloc.
Wow, I mean, that's a fine mission statement in itself, and I would definitely be up for that as well. But obviously, Andy Wilde attacking you guys, I mean, the guest of the show, I remain neutral. I'm a good interviewer. I'm a neutral guy for my guests. But obviously, Andy has PWR, a teaching facility, teaches some young minds. Maybe Eastern Bloc needs a wee teaching session to teach the minds of PWR. If you were able to go there and teach these guys, what sort of teaching lessons would be on the agenda from the Eastern Bloc, Jan?
Respect the Slavs.
There.
Know your place.
Know your place. Know who's the superior. No, I'm just joking. Teaching lesson. People don't realize, and I think it's a problem not in Scotland because I know people in Scotland they get it in the head, but around the world during my travels when I was wrestling over Europe, there's lots of people who don't get wrestling. They don't get it. They don't get their role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we are tough. Me, Topalovic, Hanyade, and Crowbar. We are heels. We are tough, right? That's the whole gimmick. But we are not. How to say? We know our roles on a show. When the booker comes and tell us what to do, we gotta do it. You know what I mean? Even if it's humiliating. Hey, we are the bad guys. We need to lose sometimes. We need to be humiliated because bad guys shouldn't win. You know what I mean? That's what people don't get. They got many heels all over Europe who think they're cool because they're coming on a badass hardcore metal music, and they're throwing at chairs everywhere. Look how tough I am. It's all about presentation. Me, Hanyade, Topalovic in Sweden. Best example. We come out on Eastern Bloc music. Only thing we did was waving the flag, and people booed us. We didn't have to do any any crazy, stupid stuff. We just played our roles and we know our roles. That's what people need to learn in wrestling. It's not about moves. No one gives a fuck about moves. People don't believe me, but no one gives a fuck about moves. Me as a fan, I don't give a damn if you can do 450 splash. Can you entertain me? That's the main important thing.
And I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I will go a little bit more, but then I will get into the burial side, and I don't want to bury anyone, so
Hey, don't worry. We're comfortable with destroying competition and names. But I know, Jan, when you were last on here, you were saying how much you hate chopping, except Gunfer's chops. I mean, yeah, that was a.
So there's a thing, right? Chopping, top I will know. Chopping, it's so overused now, and it pisses me off. Can you You have fists. Use your fist. You have strikes. Use your strikes. Don't chop like a little girl. You're not Andy Wild. You're not Gunter. You're not Krieger, who does very good chops. You know what I mean? If you can do an amazing chop, that even Andy Wild, right? He's like the best in Scotland about chops, right? How many times do you see him chop? Like maybe once or twice, but you don't see him like 5 times. Chopping everyone. I hate that. It's boring. It looks stupid. I hate that. When me and Topa in the ring, we throwing fists all over. We are kicking ass, throwing fists. That's how it should be. It's a fight. You're not chopping like a little girl on the playground.
It's all fists and elbows.
Exactly.
Hey, no flips, just fists. I think that's something a lot of wrestling fans could get a bite as well. But obviously, Topalovic yourself, I know you mentioned wrestling in Sweden as well. I've had one guest from Sweden, Alexi Lux, who's done a lot of deathmatch promotion stuff over there as well, hardcore scene as well. So I want to know, with especially, Eastern European wrestling, do you feel like deathmatch wrestling or hardcore wrestling is a very much a way of life there, a very much a part of the culture of wrestling over there?
Yes and no. Maybe not so much death matches, but like the hardcore scene, mostly because I would in a way say like the audience, like that are more than just the casual audience of wrestling, usually have some type of background of some extreme, like extreme sports, extreme just a thing like skating. Like skating in the 90s, 2000s was very, very big in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And like, even though skating, it might not be seen as something very extreme, the pain that you receive from when you fuck up, when you skate, is kind of like, oh, I understand what is happening when somebody is going through a table, because once I fell through the flew like and hit my back like on concrete or whatever it might be. So it's like in ways there are a lot of people that do have roots in some form of hardcore scene. May it be music, may it be sports, may it be whatever, where it is a little bit tougher. There is a different mentality of some if you can call it bloodthirstiness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's a national sport in Czech Republic, right? It's ice hockey. And ice hockey, that's no joke. It's a hardcore sport. Sweden is very good in ice hockey as well, but Czech Republic is better. There's an ice hockey fan over here, and that's not a sport for a girl. It is a girl can do it, but it's because the people say like skating, it doesn't sound very threatening. Try it. Try fight and skating at the same time. That's ice hockey. Ice hockey is basically wrestling on ice.
Wrestling on ice. I think you've got something there, mate. That could be a a good summer show coming up. I mean, Christ, that would be something indeed as well. But obviously, wrestling have great characters and all that. And I know to look at characters, you just have to look at your own history. Here in Scotland, we have the mystical history of like the Kelpies and the Quinnic and all those as well. I would love to know from both of you lads, Eastern European historical figures or myths or legends that you think would make great wrestling characters. Which would those be and why? Topalovic, yourself, starting off, my friend.
Wait, sorry, can I just quickly jump into it?
Yeah, of course. No,
just quickly, if I can go first, if you don't mind.
Sure, go.
Just because that's what we play. That's the Eastern Bloc. Crowbar, he's Polish, so he represents all the Hussar warriors, from the times, the Hussars. I'm Czech, so we are. My name is literally Jan. All the great names from Czech Republic were named Jan Hus, Jan Amos Komensky, Jan Žižka, who's, by the way, the greatest general in history, who never lost a battle. The Hussite warriors, Hussars, Hussites, Hanyadi, the ancient Hungarian tribes, who were just battling over regions. And Topalovic, Balkan people are mad. So each of us, we represent some part of the Slavic history. Mythical creature, mythical, historical. That's what we are. That's what you're trying to do. Have you seen the promo I did on? I think it was a Swedish one. That was a promo I was editing recently. How I compared each member of Eastern Bloc to like a historian, historian like ancestors from our countries.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Swedish one. I'm not sure right now. Anyway, I will let Topa continue.
Like when you said it, you pretty much covered it all. But if any, like, there's only one person that I can think of straight off the bat. It's Tito. Like, Tito as a wrestler, that would be a great character. Because how can one man rule with like such an iron fist in ways, and still like this? Tito was a man that in ways had the cake and ate it at the same time. And just the thought of that balancing act on a world stage.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I got to know, sadly, Slavic history is not a part of the Scottish curriculum in high school. So I need to know, Topalovic, give me a history lesson on Tito. So it's not a part of our curriculum. All we learn about is poetry and shit.
Sure, no problem. Tito was the what's called? Oh, what's the name for it? The partisan leader during World War II,
mm-hmm.
where there were a lot of factions, a lot of factions in the Balkan region that were either fighting with or against the Germans, and also having internal struggles. But Tito was the one that pretty much took over, and with the help from both the West and the Soviets, able to expel the Nazis.
And that's the thing. Do you know how you mentioned they don't teach you history, right? Properly. Let me give you just a quick historical education about the Slavs, right? If it wasn't for Slavs, we would still have Nazis in Europe. If it wasn't for Slavs, we still might have a Roman Empire. You know what I mean? I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, we Slavs saved Europe many times, and you don't even know about it. World War II. See, if you watch any Hollywood stupid American movies, right? And it's always portrayed that America, the Allied forces, saved World War II. They won World War II. Yeah, they did, but 90% was the Russians. Well, not the Russians, the Soviets, which is Russians, Ukrainians, Belarusians, Czech Republic, Balkan, former Yugoslavia, right? How did World War? Okay, just a quick question, right? Who was fighting in World War One, and how did World War One start?
Ooh, the alcohol's not inhibited my history knowledge. It was the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and it was Russia by. If my history teacher's watching, she would slap me across the fucking face right now. Was it a
Gabriel Princip?
Fuck, who
And Gabriel Princip was a Bosnian Serb.
Yes, right. Fuck.
Then Austria-Hungary tried to invade Serbia. And because they invaded Serbia, Russia, because Serbian and Russians are Slavs, which means they are brothers. They didn't let their little brother get under, invasion, so they helped them. And because Russia joined, Germany joined, and because Germany joined the war, France and Great Britain and Japan joined as well. It's called a world war for a reason. What they teach you in schools, in movies, that it's always America against Germany. Germany didn't play that big of a role in World War I. They did, don't get me wrong, they did, but they always teach you stuff that's not really true. And makes me angry because this is our history and people don't give a damn. This is a history of the Europe, of the world. And us people, us Slavs, we played a big role in the history. The whole fucking revolution in 1989, the Russian invasion, the Warsaw Pact invasion in Czechoslovakia in 1968, no one talks about that. No one talks about how Allied forces sold Czechoslovakia to Germany, to Nazis, just to prevent the war. No one talks about it. Why? Are you ashamed of that? That's why that's what I'm talking about. Eastern Bloc, we are taking it back because everything belongs to us. And we are doing it through wrestling.
Hey, it's a great way to make a message. As they say, it's the old historic saying, history is written by the victors, but sometimes that history and the victors isn't right. It isn't the right way to tell the history and the
because you got stupid fucking executors in Hollywood making stupid movies about how America is the greatest. It was the Polish people who saved Europe against Vikings. No one talks about that.
Yeah. So an ignored part of it. And the Polish scene as well, I'm not too familiar with. The only individual that comes to mind from the Polish scene is an individual named Krampus that comes to mind. Someone who's amazing there as well. So I like to know as well, lads, say Eastern Bloc comes over, UK, fully integrated. You fully teach these guys in the UK of the Slavic ways, the Eastern Bloc ways. I can imagine that America will next be on the list. Is there individuals in America or companies in America that you're thinking they are first on the hit list of invasion and teaching them the ways of the Slav? Topalovic, yourself, my friend, what's your first thoughts on that?
The most obvious answer would be like WWE, AEW, like the bigger the spotlight, the greater the spread. But then again, like there's so many promotions in the US. So I mean, you can pretty much start anywhere, and just get the ball rolling.
Hey, we'd love to see that ball rolling. Yeah, and yourself, is WWE the end goal of end goals, or is there maybe other companies like an OVW or a GCW or even a Warrior Wrestling you want to conquer with the Eastern Bloc?
To be fair, I would love to work for OVW. I'm not gonna lie, like they're absolutely amazing over there. They get it, over there. That's like the only American company I don't mind watching. Like, okay, let's face it, we watch OVW because of Netflix, right? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know the company still exists if it wasn't for Netflix. But ever since I was watching, I'm watching some videos on the social media, and I love the company. I think they're amazing. They're doing absolutely amazing work over there. We need to teach GCW how to wrestle. The Eastern Bloc. It's these people. Sorry, I'm just joking, right? I'm not serious right now, but it's like these people who think like I'm a deathmatch wrestler. I can do whatever I want. I'm tough. Are you? Try survive a week in Bosnia. Try survive a week in like bad places in Czech Republic, or try survive in Ukraine. You know what I mean? It's this mentality I just don't get. But every company, we would take over and recruit fellow Slavs on the way to get the army growing, get the movement growing.
Hey, get the hashtag going, merch flowing, and that movement going as well. Now, obviously, Jan, you beat Glasgow Grindhouse yesterday as well, and I know Luke King Sharp has been involved with a new company here in Scotland, a deathmatch company, Bleeding Gums Wrestling. Do you think maybe Eastern Bloc needs to invade Bleeding Gums and teach them the ways of the Slav?
That's not a bad idea. I mean, Crowbar could kick all their asses for real. So I think Topalovic would be a great addition to Bleeding Gums. He's got history of doing some crazy death-defining matches. He would be great in it.
Well, I mean, I got to ask then, Topalovic. Obviously, I've had the owner of Bleeding Gums Wrestling on this show, and they've had matches like a grass is always bloodier on the other side match, with the full of home base and B&Q being unloaded into the ring. They've had the old thumbtacks, the chairs. They've got their ongoing, which will be at their next show, Bleeding Gums Wrestling UK Deathmatch Championship Tournament coming up as well. For you to maybe come down the line and win a Deathmatch Tournament Championship title and bring it back to the Eastern Bloc, would that be a statement to other deathmatch wrestlers? Hey, you guys may live by the whole bleeding and death in the ring, but the championship and titles now with the Eastern Bloc.
I mean, like, to be honest, I have not that much experience with death matches. I've done a couple of hardcore matches. I mean, one of the more crazier stories is one match pretty much ended with me literally having a noose over my head or around my head and being thrown over the third rope.
Well,
so I mean, I can take it.
Oh.
I will always go the extra mile and still come fighting back.
Just use for example, the match he had in Scotland against there was the Fatal 4-Way for Valor Wrestling show. That was a bloody match, and guess who won it?
Hey, it shows the main man himself. He's here, the winner, representing the Eastern Bloc. We'd love to see it as well. And I think, maybe with the end of season 3, maybe season 4, I'll wear a red suit to represent the Eastern Bloc. Maybe if it's in the budget, I will change my ways and represent. But who knows what will happen in the future. But the future, it is a big thing. You never know what's going to come next as well. So I need to know, Jan Topalovic, 2024, you stated before with the Eastern Bloc is to send a message, a ways of teaching of the Slavs. By the end of 2024, what are some prime achievements you want to achieve with the Eastern Bloc? Jan, you start off, my friend.
I want to grow the social media hours so we can spread more message so people can know that we are here and we are not messing around. Spread the message that you don't fuck with Eastern Bloc. Grow in more international, we have more international matches. Like Scotland is cool, right? Scottish wrestling is amazing, but there's a whole world out there that needs to be taught by the Slavs ways. Spread. Me personally, I would love to have more members. I would love to have do you know how is a Bullet Club Japan, Bullet Club America? I would love to have another section of Eastern Bloc somewhere else. Like it's like a Polish version of Eastern Bloc. Have people there, represent the name of Eastern Bloc. Have in Balkans, there have a section of Eastern Bloc Eastern Bloc Yugoslavia or something. That would be a cool name, but I don't know if it's politically correct. Just call it. No. Let's just use it. No, Eastern Bloc Balkan Edition. That sounds way better. You know, have wrestlers in Slovenia. I have wrestlers in Bosnia. I have wrestlers in Kosovo, Macedonia. I have wrestlers in Croatia. Oh, like spread the message, spread the propaganda, spread the word of Eastern Bloc. Oh, I want Eastern Bloc to be big. I'm not stopping by being at just a small faction. No. We need to be big. We either going big way or no way.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
No, I fair point indeed. But obviously, Topalovic yourself as well. You know, achievements and goals by the end of the year. I need to know what's on your mind, pal.
Achievements and goals would be anywhere Eastern Bloc goes, to give the people, to give the crowd the Eastern Bloc feel, so they know what we stand for, who we are, and to spread the message that we are not a menace, but a dominating faction that is here to stay.
No, hey. Here to stay, here to make a statement, and here to kick arse and take names and teach the ways of the Slav. I think that's maybe something not only the Scottish scene needs, not even the UK scene needs. I think that's something the worldwide wrestling entertainment brand needs as well. And I think that's something we can see indeed as well. But I want to know as well, you know, let's say any member of the Eastern Bloc could win a world championship. Anything up there with the WWE, or maybe let's go a bit homely. My home of the United Kingdom. Let's say it's something like the CPW Championship or the Attitude Championship or Progress or Rev Pro or No Mercy or New Wave. Yeah, and Topalovic. If you had to see any kind of big name championship come into the Eastern Bloc, which championship would you love to see added in? Jan, you start off, my friend.
I mean, I would love to see the UEWA Championship, the one Robert Start holding right now.
Ooh.
That because it represents. I know you said UK, but that championship represents the whole Europe. And in my opinion, person who holds that championship is the best in whole Europe. Let's look at the history of the championship, right? Let's start from where I remember. It was Alexander Dean who held it. Then it was Lionheart who held it. Then it was Andy Wild. He held it for so many years. Now it's Robert Starr. And have that championship in Eastern Bloc would be amazing. Another championship I know very well is the ICW World Championship. Can you imagine that? Have that in an Eastern Bloc and just represent it all over the Europe. Big Europe. All the UEWA championships there are. It's a European, you know, those championship represents the best in Europe. And that's what we want. That's what we are. The best in Europe. And fuck it. I want to make my own championship. I want to make a Slavic championship. And defend that all over the Europe.
Oh, well, I mean, before we get on to you, Topalovic, is I want to know, Jan, maybe you can ask your cousin Stan to take a step aside and let the Eastern Bloc go on and see you can maybe take either the CPW Championship or even the Attitude Pro Wrestling Championship off Ravy Davy. How would you put an Eastern Bloc Slavic style onto that championship?
See, to be fair, I'm going to leave it to Stan. No disrespect to APW or CPW. Amazing companies. Helped me and my cousin Stan so much. Ravy Davy, The Wanderer. I would keep it out of respect to the people over there. Out of respect to my cousin Stan. I don't want Eastern Bloc to be involved in APW. It's a Stan's territory. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And back to your question. If Stan would won the championship, the first thing he would do, he would open a vodka with the championship. Or no, that's a great idea. Have the championship, a beer openers all over, and just every time you got the beer, you know, just open over your championship and let's go. You're drinking. Oh my God, I will pitch it to Stan. When he wins the championship, have beer openers all over, making his entrance to the ring, and just give free beer to the people. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I'm trademarking that.
Oh,
That's my addition. I will I will bring more beer openers to the championship.
Yeah, I mean, so I need to take it. That's a beautiful. Oh my god, that is bringing tears.
That's a crowd pleaser.
Yes,
it's a
Free
people
vodka
pleaser.
program.
Oh my god, the tears! I got to keep them inside. Ugh, that is a beautiful idea. But Topalovic, seeing the UK scene, if you could see one of the big maybe championships of the UK scene being entered into the Eastern Bloc, which one would you want to see added in?
To be honest, all. Like I've said before, I know I'm sounding like an old scratched up record here, but like just go in, dominate, and hoard the gold to show that we are the best.
I mean,
Well,
I heard rumors in CPW about a European Championship, and I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's happening. I just heard rumors. That would look good on Topalovic.
well, I mean, it's funny you mentioned that, Jan. You know, I had a wrestler by the name of James Ellis who wrestles down in Wales. He was wanting to introduce the Combat Legacy Championship with No Mercy with a European spin on it. So, I mean, if he was to regain that championship and make the Combat Legacy European Championship, that would mean to be something on Eastern Bloc's eyes, I can imagine, right?
I will tell you this way, right? If he wants to make the championship legit and mean something, he needs to defend it against Eastern Bloc.
Ooh. I mean, does
Because
that maybe...
we are the Europe. Me, Topalovic, Krobar, Hanyade, we are the Europe. We represent the Europe. And if you want the championship means something, you need to defend against the best. And we are the best.
Wow. I mean, hey, look, Jan, I got to then say, we've had guests at the Soul Sessions who have held championship in ICW, No Mercy, Progress, NXT, NXT UK, WWE, and all those companies. There's champions watching right now from either the UK or America, and they want to make their championships legit. Are you basically saying if you want to make your championship mean something, not only just to you, but to make it to mean something within the wrestling world, they got to face the Eastern Bloc to make that shit legit?
You know what? I'm going to cut another promo right now.
Go for it.
Face the camera. If there's any champion in all of Europe, and you think you're a tough man, you think you mean something with a championship, you mean nothing until you defend it against the Eastern Bloc. You think you're best tag team champions? Prove it. You think you're the best European champion? Prove it. Valor is our show. Come to Valor and defend it. We are everywhere. Sweden, Scotland, England, Spain, Czech Republic, Poland. We have members everywhere. So you should better watch your back because we are taking over.
Well, folks, champions and wrestlers alike, you may think your championship is safe. You may think it's around your waist, safely comfortable, or maybe even your suitcase. You may even think that your opponent is your main thing to fear. But no matter where you are, even in any locker room or even in the crowd, there may be an undercover Slav ready to take their moment and take that championship back to maybe one of the best building, defiant factions ongoing and the mission statements within the wrestling world, because the Eastern Bloc is ready. So folks, be afraid, be on guard, because you don't know when the Eastern Bloc is going to strike. All I'll say to that as well. Well, Jan Topalovic, we're coming to the end of our time here as well. So I want to throw out a final question. First for you, Topalovic, as well, and my friend. Your first appearance here. Pleasure as always, representing the Eastern Bloc as well.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, mate, my friend, pleasure. And that's not the alcohol talking. Absolute pleasure. So let's say a dream scenario. You get to have a match. Tony Khan comes over and he says, I need some representation of pure European style wrestling. And he says, you know what? Come on, have a match in Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people. Show your stuff off the Slav ways and all that. That is good with European wrestling. Is there a particular match you would love to have on that Wembley stage with someone from the AEW roster and teach them the ways of the Eastern Bloc?
Funny enough, like if he would have said WWE, I would have a straight answer. But AEW, I actually have to think about that.
Well, we
So-
could just
Burial right there.
we like to change on the mind here, so why don't we throw out that whole fucking question to the side and let's say it's WrestleMania in the United Kingdom, WrestleMania UK in Wembley Stadium. You're invited on by Triple H to represent Eastern Bloc. Is there someone from WWE in a WrestleMania type environment you would love to have a match with?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, straight up.
Oh, well, it will be the battle of beers and vodka. Which one will win? Which one will get the crowd shit-faced? That is the question there as well. Now, Jan, my friend, making a 2-time appearance here on the Soul Sessions, which is always great to see as well. Obviously, you mentioned vignettes, important to show yourself. You see how many wrestlers that just post pictures with music and stuff like that. That's not enough in this day and age. You need to show yourself and show what you mean. On your Instagram, very recently actually, you posted a little vignette with a following caption here that I am going to read word for word here. I was trying to impress the people my whole career, and it got me nowhere. I was begging for money on the streets of Glasgow, didn't have a roof or food. I had to change and make a choice that saved my life. I created the Eastern Bloc, and now I'm the villain. Really? So I need to know why. Why do you think people are going to pursue you as a villain now?
I mean, look at it. I literally was on the streets of Glasgow. I was begging for money. I didn't have a roof above my head. And I was trying so hard to impress the people. I was coming out the curtain. I was like, hey, high five. Oh, let's be all friends, you know. No one cheered for me. Those people. And then, you know, that's funny thing because then I stood up for myself. When Crowbar gave me the offer to join and create Eastern Bloc, and I stood up for myself and I said, yes, people start booing me. For what? For what? I'm coming back to my connections that I joined, that I saved my life. And people say, I'm the villain. They are the villains. They are the one. It's their fault. We, Eastern Bloc, we are mean because of them. We are not the bad guys. None of us are. We are just trying to survive. And people boo me for that. People boo me for getting out of the streets. Really? This, just last night, I wanted to sing a national anthem, Czech national anthem, and people didn't even stood up.
The disrespect.
Disrespectful. And we are the villains. Really?
Disrespect is something I will not have from my guests. Absolutely will not have. So I think fans, wrestling fans, wrestlers, and promoters alike, beware of a mission statement coming to your companies and your rosters. Because I'm pretty sure in 2024, by the end of it, Eastern Bloc will have made their statement. All members will rise and acknowledge the ways of the Slav. Folks, if you have loved what you have heard of the Eastern Bloc, I will include a link to Jan and Topalovic's Instagram of the description of this video. Click, follow them, learn the ways of the Slav and the Eastern Bloc, and see that mission statement go on with the entire worldwide wrestling scene. Well, folks, I would include the whole YouTube shtick, but since YouTube's been around since 2005, I think you know what you're doing. Folks, before we finally end up here, Jan, Topalovic, shall we do a final one to end the way?
God. Do you realize I'm not drinking vodka, but 80% alcohol, which in many countries is not even legal?
I have faith you are very good with your liquor.
Yeah,
You can
you're fine. I might have a beer.
Respectable. Well, you know what? Jan, would you like to toast us to the Eastern Bloc with this?
Sure, it will be my pleasure. It was a pleasure to be on Soul Session. Like always, you're my number one guy. You're my number one podcast. Each time I need to promote something, a show, a match, the whole Eastern Bloc, you're the guy I always contact. We love you. Thank you for having us here. Thank you for welcoming Eastern Bloc. And to the fans, I hope you enjoy listening to me shouting at the microphone for an hour and 40 minutes. It was a pleasure to have Topalovic over here. I love the guy to the death. He is my brother. Too bad Crowbar couldn't make it. Too bad Hanyali couldn't make it. They are my brothers too. We love them. We are brothers. We are Slavs. And thank you for listening. And back to you.
Cheers, folks.
Živjeli.
Na zdraví, kurva.
Oh, the esophagus is fucking burning. Well, folks, before I pass out and wake up and it's Tuesday morning, stay well, stay humble, and now we stay tuned for more episodes of the Soul Sessions.